Yeah, so today's session is about how to adapt your business to the post-COVID online scenario. Now, a lot of times what happens is our situations have changed and now we are living in the post-COVID era. And today we have Sidhartha Barat. He is a digital marketing practitioner and trainer, and he has been into this industry for over 12 years in this roles where he has faced various ups and downs. Now, he has guided multiple companies across India, Singapore, and US to optimize their online channels and get the best out of their marketing efforts. Now, COVID 19 in particular have presented him with a lot of challenges to which he has he has worked and consulted companies on the strategies of how to come out of this COVID and how to make this as an opportunities. He has engaged with Vodafone, Ford, Airtel, Myntra in B2C. And today I'm excited to have him here. I'm very much excited. So take your pen and paper out. For all the people watching us on YouTube, get your get your pen and paper out and do subscribe to our YouTube channel because we'll be sharing these insights every single day with you. Over to you, Siddharth.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you, Yash. I believe I'm audible clearly.
Yep.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot. Just a small introduction of me before we get started with the agenda for today. So as Yash said, I've been into this industry since almost now. So that was taken from my LinkedIn. So almost 13, 14 years now. And in this 13, 14 years, I've worked on most of the aspects of online business development, right from marketing to operations and a lot of other stuffs as well. And in this 14 years, I've seen a lot of ups and downs as well. Maybe a market, maybe a company-wise up and down. Because if you remember, in 2009 or 10, something happened called as something major happened where the world economy crashed as well. So these things keep on happening maybe once every 10 years or so. Then if you go back again 10 years, 99, 2000, there was a dot-com burst where all the dot-com companies who were worth millions of dollars just went burst overnight. So it has happened in 2000, it has happened in 2008, it has now happened in 2020. Maybe it will even happen in 2030. These things keep on happening. So we have to, maybe we cannot be prepared for it, but we can also do certain basic things, how to get over it and how to tide past this. Okay. So first things first, this thing, I'm not just talking about from a different company point of view. I'm talking from my personal point of view. If you remember last year, 2020, 25th March was when lockdown was called. That was 25th March, if I remember correctly, that lockdown was announced correctly. So I'm based out of Bangalore, India. And on 26th March, I was supposed to fly out to Pune for a corporate training. So obviously that got canceled. And not only that, about 6 or 7 of my other corporate trainings got canceled just within a couple of weeks. So essentially, I was pretty jobless from March end till about June. Because if you remember one thing, we had no clarity how long is the lockdown going to be for. So every time it was told that it's going to be extended by 2 weeks. So even companies didn't have the clarity. Okay, so when the lockdown will open, we can resume physical training. And yes, so I'm talking about those days. So it was physical training rather than online training. Most of them were doing physical training. Even I was moving all around India and a lot of other places for physical trainings. So actually, slowly and steadily from July onwards, companies realized that, okay, no, this is going to stay. We have to learn to live with it. So then from July onwards, from August onwards, we actually moved on to online medium. And that's how it has developed. And right now, I believe even if when the lockdown gets lifted and nobody's going to go back to physical trainings anymore, as far as I know, any soon, maybe even in the next 2 years or so. So 2 things here I want to focus. Ups and downs keep on happening in everyone's lives, everyone's business, in industry over and over again. It has happened in the past, it will again happen in the future. So maybe in a way we have to get used to it. Second thing is, what we did, what companies did was to adapt to it. Because there are certain things you can choose in life, there are certain things you cannot choose in life. If you cannot choose that thing, you have to make the best of the situation. Now, coming to the actual aspect of I hope all of the joinees who are here, they have some sort of online business. Of everyone here, is anyone from offline background? Do you have a brick and mortar store, or do you have like a physical store, a shop, or a business? Anyone here who is not yet online? So if anyone is not yet online yet, this is the best time to get online. You can create websites or get websites created by someone for the cheapest rate in last 20 years. It is the cheapest, believe me when I say I have done that myself. Today, what it costs to get a website done, it used to cost about 4 times 10 years ago. It used to cost 10 times 10 years ago. Sorry, 20 years ago. You can even get an app built for you. There are so many ways to be online. So first things first, if you're not online yet, everyone else is online. Your customers are online, your competitors are online. So you need to be online, as simple as that. There's not a question of if and but here. You have to be online because your customers and competitors are online. Second thing, what are the basic things? Okay, sorry, I have a chat here I missed out. I think one of the founders, Rajiv Chawla, said not fully. So if you could you just let me know what you're talking about here, like not fully? Or Yash, how does it work? Do we have the discussion towards the end together?
Yeah,
Or
we'll have the discussion towards the end, but if the people are engaging on the chat, you can take it. Like, I think this is of your question that you asked, that whether they are offline or online. So the people are responding that to that.
so fair enough. So as much as possible, obviously, let's say if you are a restaurant, I mean, even restaurants are getting online, as in they are not obviously delivering the service, they are getting the food delivered online, right? So hospitality industry, hotels, like big five-star hotels, they're adapting to this scenario. We'll get into some industry examples later on. So first things first, I'll share my screen here. I just made a few pointers. It's not a formal PPT or something like that because that takes a lot of time. Let me share my screen. Yeah, can everyone see my screen now here? I'll just zoom in a bit.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So what we are starting off with this buyer's journey. Buyer's journey is actually putting yourself into your customer's shoes and feeling that, okay, what do I need and how do I fulfill my need? So usually there are many methods, but I'm choosing the simplest path actually possible. People reach you in 3 small steps. First, they become aware of a problem. Okay, I have a problem. Maybe I need transportation. Maybe then I need to buy a bike or a car, right? So second, another example, maybe I need a job change, or maybe I'm out of job because of COVID scenario. So what do I need? I need to enhance or upgrade my skills. So the first stage comes is that you are aware of your problem. That, okay, I have a problem, I have to get over it. So now what has COVID done to this awareness stage? First thing it has done is that people are delaying major decisions. Nobody is buying homes now. Nobody's investing in homes now. Nobody is taking major life decisions. People have delayed the marriages. People have delayed engagements. Yes, one thing they have not delayed is education. If you have read the news, visas to US universities, visas to UK universities have been the highest in the last 10 years, in this year, in 2021. So maybe except education and definitely health. So when you have a health scare, if you have a issue at home, obviously you're going to take care of it. But non-life threatening, non-educational decisions have been delayed or have been put in the back burner. Similarly, purchases have been delayed. So no major purchases. In fact, I have not bought any clothes for last almost 10 or 12 months because most of my work is through online. So I haven't gone out anywhere. So there was no need to buy it. As simple as that. So in awareness stage, people are delaying decisions. That's a key point here. that if it was easy before 2020 March, now it's going to be much difficult to convince someone to bite the bullet, I just say that, okay, you have to get that thing done. People are delaying that. Now, once you become aware of your problem, so what do? You look for solutions. So maybe my problem is I need to travel within the city. I can either get a bus pass, I can either buy a two-wheeler, I can buy a four-wheeler, I can take share rides every day, I can book a Uber or Ola every day. Those are my four options. I can do any four of that. So those four options have been there since quite some time. But now what people are doing is they're looking for value for money. They're looking into reliability. They're looking for ROI. Is it worth my 1,000 rupees also? Forget 1,000. Is it worth my 500 rupees also, or even 100 rupees as well? People are sitting and thinking that for maybe an extra couple of minutes, that people are going to think, is it worth it? Seriously, should I spend money on that 2,000 rupees dinner? Should I actually buy that 10 lakh rupee car? Can I not maybe extend my 5-year-old car for maybe another year or another couple of years? People are delaying those decisions in consideration stage. Similarly, like people are avoiding long-term financial obligations. Like if you have to pay EMI for the next 5 years, next 60 months, people do not want to go into that. So if people are not willing to get into an EMI scene for the next 5 years, for the next 20 years, that's why, again, all of these are interrelated. That's why people are not willing to take loans for cars. They're not willing to take loans for houses, flats, apartments, condos. So they're delaying all those things. They don't want long-term financial obligation as of now. Maybe 6 months down the line, they're ready, but not as of now. Third is your decision stage, that, okay, you become aware that, fine, I'm sticking to the automobile example. I decided that, fine, I'll take a car now. So what I'm looking for these days now, first is social proofing. Social proofing means finding out what others have said about that product in social media. So as we used to have like recommendations, word of mouth in the non-digital age, in digital age, we have social proofing. What have people said in Facebook about it? What have people spoken about it in Mouth Shut? What have people spoken about it in Quora? What have people spoken about it in Instagram? So everyone has those apps on their phone these days. So people are going to look into that. So not only they are going to look into what the company is saying, but they are going to look into what you and I, as a peer, as a person of the same category, is saying about the same product. Related to that is user-generated content. If you look into YouTube these days, there are so many reviewers for every category of products, right? If you want to look for a laptop review, there are at least 200 reviewers for laptops. If you want to buy a mobile phone, there are at least 500 reviewers for mobile phones. If you want to buy a car, also there are 500 reviewers. So all of that is user-generated content, UGC. So again, people, when they are in decision stage, whether maybe I'm deciding between whether I should buy a Maruti car or Hyundai car or a Volkswagen car, I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to go and look, what are people talking about reliability? What are people talking about build quality? What are people talking about mileage, right? So earlier what happened? I just decided, I just went to the showroom. I'm going to check it out myself. So now these things are happening even before I go to the showroom. So maybe earlier, if I used to go to 10 different car brand showrooms, now I'll go to 2 or 3. So the other 7 have lost the game before someone stepped into the showroom itself. Right. So social proofing and user-generated content is a big deal. It's a huge deal these days. And even companies are also trying to encash on this. So you must have heard about a term called as influencer marketing these days. It's become very, very popular since last few years, actually. So influencer marketing is kind of an extension of social proofing and user-generated content. And who is an influencer? The influencer we are talking about is a micro-influencer. See, Amitabh Bachchan talking about Navratna Tel is also an influencer. but he's a mega star. He's a mega influencer. But somebody maybe with 50,000 followers who has a similar lifestyle to you and I, talking about a product on Instagram or YouTube, is a micro influencer. So because of user-generated content and social proofing, companies found that that is more relatable to us now, because we have seen Amitabh Bachchan talk about Navratna Tel 1,000 times. Maybe we believe him, maybe we not believe him. That's a different story altogether. We have seen every movie celebrity, every sports person talking about products. We have moved past the stage of mega influencers to the stage of micro influencers through user-generated content, right? So again, obviously, if the times are bad, you have to have offers and deals. That is but obvious. So I was just moving around maybe last week in my area in Bangalore called HSR Layout. I remember 2 or 3 years ago, in the month of August, I do not remember seeing any sale on any shop, a physical shop or any showroom. In the month of August, there's no such as festival has come up yet. Yeah, Rakhi was not such a big festival. Ganesh Chaturthi is coming, but I don't remember seeing sale for Ganesh Chaturthi. There used to be a sale for maybe Dashera, Diwali, maybe New Year, maybe Christmas, maybe Eid. But today, in the month of mid-August, when I moved to that market area, every possible showroom had a sale board on them. And that is the reflection of the times we are living in. Because if they are not giving a sale, Myntra is giving a sale, Amazon is conducting a sale, Flipkart is conducting a sale. Obviously, the customer would go and buy from Amazon, Myntra, or Flipkart. So they are also bound to come up with sale in August. If you remember, there used to be no sale in the month of August. The half-year sale was towards the end of June. And till then, till Dashera, Diwali, there used to be no sale period at all. Now, every month there's some kind of sale. So again, all these offers and deals are a reflection of the times we are living in a way, post-pandemic scenario also. Fourth thing people are also looking for is low upfront cost. I'll give you an example here. Do you know that cars can be bought on subscription model also? You don't need to pay all the down payment of 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees and then take a loan and pay EMI. Hyundai has come up with, I think Maruti Suzuki has also come up with, Zoom Cars has come up with, Ola has come up with subscription-based cars. Okay, you go to maybe Maruti Suzuki. You say, boss, I don't want to buy a car right now. I don't want a down payment. I don't want an EMI. I want to subscribe to a car. He said, fine, sir. We need these papers. Obviously, they have to do their KYC. So, and this is going to be your cost per month. And this is your lock-in period. So if you want, you can change the car after 6 months. So you use a car for 6 months, then after 6 months, you use a different car. So what I'm avoiding here, I'm avoiding majorly the upfront cost, the whole financial burden of giving a down payment, taking a loan. I'm avoiding all that. So this has something very, very unique, which has started off in a very major way in automobile industry. Because of lockdown, nobody was buying automobiles. People were thinking, we don't need to go anywhere, so why invest in a new automobile? And not only automobile industry, if you look into your industry also, all this EMI offers. I was seeing some Myntra or something like that. There was an Adidas shoe worth something like 5,000. So even there it was written like buy it an EMI of 500 rupees per month. I was like, seriously, they're giving EMI offers for an Adidas shoe as well. So maybe that is the reflection of times we are living in. Everybody is trying to avoid high upfront costs. So this is the nutshell of buyer's journey. And these are the changes what COVID has brought. And believe me, these were the same kind of changes what your 2008 market crash had brought. These are the same kind of changes what 99-2000.com bust had brought. If something happens in 2026 or 2030, similar behavior will be repeated because this is a human behavior, right? So our technology will change over years. Maybe we will use different things to do different kind of tasks. but basic human behavior more or less uh, stays the same. Like we are looking for VFM products, you're looking for reliability, you're looking for ROI, you're looking for low upfront costs. Unless there is a booming market, or in the other sense, every time there's a crash or every time there's a hardship, this behavior is going to be repeated over and over again. So if you can save this, I'll actually share this link with you to everyone after the chat. It's an open link. You can access this document. Just try to relate it to your scenario, your industry. You'll relate to, I think, maybe most of the points here. Fine. So now, since we are saying that, okay, this is going to be repeated, and this is going to be something which is going to be common for most of the online businesses, most of the offline businesses. So what can the business do? Shut shop? Yeah, actually, a lot have shut shop. A lot of my friends' businesses have closed down because they could not take the losses. But if people can take the losses for a certain time period, maybe like 6 months or so, 4 months or so, and make some changes, because as you say, as people say, actually, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So we are still in a better position as compared to last year, if you remember. Last year, August, we were worse than this in 2020. We are in a better position now. Have some patience, do a bit of correct things, follow the right steps, and you, I, and every other business will get tied over it. I mean, unless anything major again happens. We are still hearing about the third wave, fourth wave, and the fifth wave. So nobody is a soothsayer here. Nobody can predict it. But even if it happens, it will be a very, very good idea to follow certain basic steps. So what are these basic steps here? This one, how to get past this, getting back to the basics. Yes, that is what we need to do. Getting back to the basics. We really do not need to do anything fancy. We do not need to build a rocket for this. This is not rocket science. It is a lot of basic steps which we have forgotten in good times. In bad times, we remember the basic steps, and in good times, we see, wow, everything's going fine, business is booming, we are getting lots of customers, we are getting lots of revenue. We forget all of this. And it happens with everyone. First of all, know your buyer or know your customer, who your buyer is. I've used a term called as buyer persona. So since this is a kind of a academic term, so when you teach marketing, you always create something called as a buyer persona. You create something like who my buyer is. Why is that person buying from me? What are the other options available to that person? What challenges does that person have, which my product is helping to overcome? You create a list about all that things. Because unless you know your buyer, it's not about your product. Believe me, for any business, product is secondary. Product have failed from Apple, from Microsoft, from Google. Big billion-dollar products have failed. So products can always fail unless or if they do not meet the buyer's demand. So first things first, know your buyer and what do they actually want out of their money. Because anyways, people are not willing so easily to part with their money. So know what they want for their money. To help you build a buyer persona, there are lots of online resources. I'll show you one of them actually. So I'll share this link with you. You can download and create. I'm just showing an example of the buyer persona, how it works. If you see here, can you read through my screen? There are small texts here.
Yeah.
So here it's talking about goals, challenges, right? So these are workable. These are kind of a worksheet. You can fill it in for your own. You can change the name. You can change the image. Just create your own buyer persona for your own business. What are the goals and challenges? Obviously, you're not going to know everything about this link here, but related to your product, what are the goals, challenges? Second, identifiers. So based on the age group, how do they want to be communicated with? Are they on social media? If they are on social media, which channel are they on? Are they more on Instagram or are they more on Facebook? Because Instagram versus Facebook is also an age-based category here. We have found out in the last few years that people on Instagram are usually from, let's say, 15 to 30-year-olds. And people on Facebook are a bit older generation now. You can say that, okay, maybe somebody from, let's say, 30 to 50, 60-year-olds are more, they use Facebook more. I mean, everyone has an account on both the places, but Facebook is used more by people around 30 to 50 or 60. Instagram is used mostly by about 15 to 30. If you think of Snapchat, again, Snapchat is very, very popular between 13 years to, I mean, all the preteens and teenagers to about 18 or 20 years. So every kind social network actually has a kind of a demographic identifier. So know that about your customer. Which social channel are they on? If you know the age group, obviously you can calculate this also. Then towards the right of the slide here, this is very, very important. So let's say my challenge is I need to commute within the city every day for 20 kilometers. That is my challenge. And how do I struggle with? Because maybe I have a bike which I'm traveling 20 kilometers in a day. Sometimes it's sunny, sometimes it rains, sometimes it's muddy. I get splashes all over my body. Sometimes if it rains, Ola and Uber charge me surge prices, right? So my challenge is I need something which I can use with my own wish. When I want to use it, when I want to, wherever I want to go, I should be able to use it. So just a small example, personal goal and challenges. So you can map this to every industry possible, right? From a B2C to B2B. I have had this exercise with a lot of big companies having clients all over Europe and USA also. So even those big companies sit down with the marketing team and find out this about the customer first. This is the most basic step. And believe me, if I ask, 90% of people do not do this. Now, here, this is what we can do. So fine, I have the goals and challenges. So basically, this is how can I get your money? And how can I help you alleviate your goals and challenges? That's only the person who's going to give me the money, right? Nobody's going to give charity to you. And it's really anything that, okay, there's no competition in the market. Rarely there's a case that, okay, maybe in the case of that Covishield and Covaxin, people would wait in line to pay for it and get a shot of Covishield or Covaxin. But in any other category, any other business around you, you will see that not happening. There are competitors everywhere. So why should that person give his or her money to me? You have to be very, very clear about that to start off with. Extremely clear, only then you can build upon rest of your business. So I'll share this slide with you as well. So you can work with your own scenario. You can work with your own set of customers. Just maybe think of an existing customer you have, maybe 2 or 3 existing customers you have. Just map it out. It's going to be a very thought-provoking, helpful exercise, which is going to identify what you actually need to do. Okay. Moving on. Know the trends. So there's something called as a data-driven approach. There's something called as a guesswork, as simple as that. We tend to focus a lot on guesswork, but there's always a data-driven approach. I'll show you one simple website that's called as Google Trends. So this is the website. If you can search for yourself as well, Google Trends. Explore what the world is searching for, right? So let's say I search for my area of expertise itself. I search for digital marketing. Okay. My country is chosen as India now. I can choose it as Dubai as well. Let's see what's the trend in Dubai. Past 12 months, all categories, web search. So what it is telling you that how is digital marketing trending in this particular Google search engine, right? We know this is Google search engine. When I search for digital marketing,
Siddharth, we can't see your this screen. We can only see your previous screen.
Okay, so just give me a second. I think I'm chosen one particular tab only. Give me 1 second. I'll stop share and reshare again.
Yeah.
Okay, can you see this screen now? So I was talking about, actually, I started off here. I'm sorry, you cannot see this one, right? So I was talking about this website called as Google Trends. When you open up the website, this is how it's going to look like. So I searched here for my own field, digital marketing. If you want me to conduct any particular search, I'm always happy to do that. So let's say I'm searching this for Dubai. Past 12 months, all categories, and I've chosen web search. So what it means here is when I use Google search engine to search for something, it gets recorded somewhere in Google servers. So now it's showing me that over past 12 months in Dubai, how many people have been searching for digital marketing. It's not an exact number. If you see, it has been marked from 0 to 100. So right now you're seeing trends that, okay, the trend for digital marketing fell in May month. It fell again during June. It fell again during this August first week. It's going downhill as compared to July. It peaked quite well in the first week of July. Now it's going down. It's at 33 now, and in last week of May and first week of June, it was at 80. In first week of July, it was 87. So you can say that, okay, the interest level is 1/3 right now what it was in the first week of July, right? This is a very basic thing Google Trends gives you. And it also tells you that, fine, when they are searching for digital marketing, what they exactly are searching for. So in Dubai, people are searching for digital marketing agency, course, and some are also searching for what is digital marketing, right? So you get a basic idea. If you want me to do any other kind of search, let's say, can you give me any, Yash, can you help me out with any Dubai specific term? What is popular right now?
I think in Dubai currently people search for jobs or let's say vacations or something like that.
Okay. Let's do the job search term. So jobs trend is more or less very flat here. So let's say vacation, because vacation should show a lot of variation because of lockdowns. Yeah. You see a lot of variation in vacations because of lockdown, other factors. So like here, June 27 to July 3, it's 0. It just fell flat. Nobody was searching for it. Then there's a spike here now. It's at around 50 levels. So yeah, decent enough level. People are coming back to.
Based on the weekends, like if there's a long weekend coming, people just search for it. If there's a
No, yeah, definitely. So yeah, maybe long weekends, there are spikes based on a lot of realistic factors, but you get an idea that you can see the search variations. So you can do this for your industry as well. So know the trends. If it is going down, if it's going up, if it's staying the same. If it's going down, then maybe you have to think, what other things are people searching for? What alternatives are people searching for in that case?
So do we get the list of what people are searching instead of we searching like the top 100 trending things in a region or something like that?
Based on a keyword, because Google works through the concept of keywords. This is my keyword here, digital marketing, keyword or a search query. So if
Okay.
you give a root keyword, let's say I give a root keyword of digital marketing, you can get to know what are people searching around this root keyword.
Okay, got it.
Okay. The other thing, what also Google Trends shows is, let me try that with Dubai location. I have not tried that. So more trending searches today, August 31, India. So this is for India. Let me go to Dubai. So I think Dubai recently got its own extension for Google, right? To google.com.ae.
Yeah.
So this option is not there for Dubai right now. But for India, you get this option. Like these are the trending searches today, August 31. First is Dale Stein, finance,
I
Paralympics.
think, sorry to interrupt. I think you have to search for UAE, United Arab Emirates.
Okay, yeah, so thanks. Let me go down. No, it's still not
No, it's
there.
not.
Ukraine, UK, United States, Vietnam is there.
No problem.
Okay, someone suggested Desert Safari, but you get the idea. I'm not spending more time on this, but I'll give you the link in the chat box right now. You can try this out yourself. It's actually a free tool. You do not have to pay a dime for this. And it's a low-level tool, but it's very, very helpful nonetheless. I'm going to give this in the chat box because I have other important points to touch upon as well. All right. So know your trends. So other tools are SEMrush, SimilarWeb. These are paid tools. So I do not want to show the example of paid tools. I showed an example of free tools, so anyone can have a look at it. Third thing, very, very important. If you have a website or a mobile app or something, you must be using something called as Google Analytics. Google Analytics records every kind of user customer behavioral data. What do they do on your website, right? So that's a whole story altogether. My Google Analytics trainings go on for 30, 32 hours separately. What I'm trying to show you is understand where are your customers coming from. Where means are they coming through paid searches? Are they coming through social media? Are they coming directly? Are they coming organically? You'll have that data. I'll just show you right now how it looks like. I'll just show you screen here. Channel efficiency and ROI. So again, you have to understand and measure. Let's say if you're spending 1000 AED on social media versus 1000 AED on paid search versus 1000 AED on SEO, what revenue are you generating from that 1000 AED on each channel? So you have to know how much efficient was the channel on, right? So I'll just show you because this gets a bit theoretical here if I do not show it. Like say, for example, some website, this is data, right? So if you see here, first one is paid search into two. If when somebody came to the website and bought something, they came twice through paid search. Direct into two, they came, typed in the website URL directly and came there. First came through organic search, then directly, then made a purchase. Paid search, then direct, and then made a purchase. You get an idea here. So just look at the different colors. You don't have to look at every row here. Just identify the different colors. Blue stands for paid search. Brown stands for direct. Green stands for organic search. Are you seeing maximum of blues, browns, and greens? So
Yes.
at a bird's eye view itself, you don't have to understand all of that right now. Just blue, brown, and green. So means paid search, direct traffic, and organic search are very, very important for this website. So they have to focus their effort on this three set instead of maybe social media. Because social media is not there in top 10. If you see here, email is not there in the top 10. YouTube is not there in the top 10. So it tells you that what is working and what is not working. And yes, it is unique for this website. It is not going to be the same for all websites, but you have to know and understand this report of yours to see what has been working for you. Fair enough?
Yep.
So that's what I meant by channel efficiency, ROI. All of these are channels. Social media is a channel, paid search is a channel, organic is a channel, direct is a channel. Avoid vanity metrics. So in Google Analytics itself this year, you see I can go and look into maybe 500 reports. 500 reports means I can maybe, if need be, I can calculate at least 2000 numbers or metrics. Sometimes people get lost in all those numbers. Identify what really matters. For example, website traffic or how many people come to your website. People get very hung up about that number a lot of times. That number means absolutely nothing. Unless someone gives you his or her contact information, unless a lead is generated, how many people came to your website, how many people browsed through the website really doesn't matter. So know what actually needs to be measured and do not get lost in vanity metrics. They look and feel nice, but they really do not serve any purpose. And that's what I mean by pick your battles. That avoid vanity metrics, know your channel efficiency, and picking your battles means spend your money which channels are working, right? So in this particular case, let's say it doesn't make sense to spend lots of money on social media. It's not working for this particular website right now, right? So this is a very dynamic thing. Maybe it will change in the next 3 months. But at this point today, it is not working. So at this point today, I'll say, okay, social media, 1000 AED per month really doesn't make sense here. I have data to prove it, right? I'm not going by hunch. Okay. Moving on from here is focus on well-defined customer segments. So now from the company point of view, also there's a crunch. There's funds crunch in most of the businesses. That's nothing uncommon. 99% of business I've come across have faced this thing. So it's nothing to be ashamed of, nothing uncommon here. So again, if you are focusing on a lot of things, do not spread out yourself thin. You can pick your battles and know which battle to fight right now for the next 6 months. Maybe when things improve after 6 months, you will expand to other horizons. But for the next 6 months, stick to your strength, stick to things what really matter, and stick to how you're going to maximize the ROI for whatever funds you have. So again, continuation of that is pick your social channels, because you have to have channel efficiency and ROI in mind. Next is very, very interesting. A lot of creative pivots have cropped up in post-pandemic scenario. I'm sure you have heard of Urban Company, right? It's a major service provider of home service in India. I remember in June last year, when lockdown opened, Urban Company started a category called as salon services for men, which was never there for the last 5 or 6 years, the time period of existence of Urban Company. Because men usually went out to a salon. Obviously, you went out to salon and get a haircut. Women maybe sometimes felt like, okay, we are going to spend a lot of time, so let's have the service in the safety and security and comfort of home, not safety and security, more comfort of home. But men were not really looking to get home service for haircuts or shaving or beard trimming. They were not. But post-lockdown, Urban Company saw that, okay, people are worried about the safety aspect, of the hygiene aspect, of contamination aspect. So let's have this new vertical. Believe me, that is working very, very well, extremely well for that matter. Second example I'll give you is of Social. Social is again a chain of restaurants in Mumbai, Pune, and a lot of other regions. So what happened? Post-lockdown also, everybody's working from home. So in working from home, you do not actually go out to hang out with friends after work from home. You just maybe watch TV, have food, and sleep. So nobody was coming to Social also after lockdown was taken off. So now what Social has done is, this is something new. Social, that thing is called a Social offline. So from a restaurant, they have evolved into a cafe / co-working space. This is something new, what they came up in last November 2020, Social Works. Because the tables were empty in the restaurant, nobody was coming. So they feel now, okay, anyways, you're working from home. Anyways, you are bugged by working from home every day, sitting in the same place. And everybody's actually, in a way, you need some kind of change of environment. You need to meet new people. So why don't you come here and work from Social? So what happens is this one. Let's say there's a 30-day pass for rupees 4,500. And you can redeem the entire 4,500 for foods and drinks. So you're working and your Wi-Fi is essentially free. And this is working very, very well for social right now. So that's what I mean to say, that be creative. I gave 2 examples, and a lot of companies are being creative in such. ITC, that major group of hotels in India, is doing home delivery of its gourmet meals, which was never heard of. They have that whole package worth something like 10,000 as a meal for 2 with all that fancy bells and whistles. ITC is doing that. And the last one is, if you have been in business for quite some time, you already have a customer base. It is always easier to engage with your existing customers rather than generate or get a new customer. Much easier, costs much less. Work around that existing customer base. You can use referral codes, you can use coupon codes, you can use offers. And the whole idea stems up from the fact that birds of same feather flock together. Okay, if you have a customer, maybe his friends or her friends would likely to be your customer as well. So this is going to be very helpful because yes, maybe you would need to send out few SMSs, maybe you would need to send out few WhatsApp chats, maybe you would need to send out a few emails, but there's not any major cost involved. Yes, you have to incentivize it because everything needs to be incentivized in this day and age. Okay, why should I share this? What do I get if I share? Everybody's going to ask that. So you have to have some kind of incentive. I'm worked with actually as low incentives as maybe there's so many online vouchers available. Okay, if you share it among your friends and family, and if maybe a couple of them from sign up, you get some coupon for maybe, I've seen a coupon such as maybe a Starbucks coupon for a coffee, right? They're very, very easy to get online. I've seen them work very, very well as well. So it's not a major deal that, okay, one coffee at Starbucks doesn't really cost a bomb. But if you incentivize an action, people are more likely to take that action. Fair enough. So this was my short and sweet thing here. And if you look here, a lot of thing is something which you should do anyways. It's not that only when times get hard you are going to do, but when times are good, we forget all these basic things. We are always thinking about expansion. We are always thinking about going to the new markets. We are always thinking about bringing more customers. And we forget this basic base level points. So now the time is to get back to basics and perform these things first. Wait it out. Things will improve. Obviously, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And when things improve, if you do these steps, you'll always be in a better position than someone who hasn't done this. So first things first, I'm going to share this document with you. Yeah, anyone with internet can view this link. I'll copy this link and share in the chat box. And let me stop share right now. So this was something which I spoke was very, very generic, which can be molded into a lot of multiple scenarios. So do you have any specific scenario or specific question for me so that I can maybe answer a bit more to the point?
Thank you very much, Siddharth, for this wonderful. Just give me a second for this wonderful talk. Actually, it was pretty. You went in pretty much detail and told us how we can adapt and by giving us the examples and all this sort of thing. I just have one question, like if there's a lot of mindset change that people have gone through in this whole process, and all these things that is pretty much told in this, people don't see kind of the immediate results. Okay, it's like and obviously most of them have not done in the past. And if you look at the tools of like the paid searches or all this sort of thing, this is pretty much new. And then it doesn't give you that instant gratification that, okay, if you put certain money, okay, let's say 5,000 dirhams in your paid searches or paid social media campaigns, and they get the results then and there. So what do you want to say? And even we went through the same problem. We kind of burned a lot of cash initially, and we didn't saw the results. And So what do you want to say about that mindset?
Okay, I'll say 3 to 4 things about that mindset. First of all, paid searches have existed since 2004. So this is the 17th year. So a person who was born in 2004 when paid search was launched is going to be an adult now in few months. So it has paid searches is going to become adult. It has evolved maybe 1,000 times. It is way, way better than it ever used to be in the history of paid search right now. There's so many options. Second, the mindset, yes. Maybe 10 years ago, I had this difficulty in justifying the cost of paid search to one of my clients. But in the last few years, I have not really faced that, believe me. Because the simple thing is, you're in a market. Let's take the analogy of a market, right? Let's take something, Connaught Place, Delhi. I think it has a marketplace. If everyone else is having an air conditioner in their shop, would you say that, okay, my shop is in a shaded area, it's not really going to need air conditioner, my customers are happy with it? That doesn't justify it, right? Because if you give me any example, I'll show you how many companies are already going the route of paid search right now in your industry. Give me any example, I'll show you right now. If your competitor is doing it and if you're not doing it, who is to lose? Your competitor is already doing it. Your customer has a provider. The answer is simple, right? I don't need to state out the answer. Next point is losing money. Yes, that is again a very common scenario. And I've seen a lot of people losing quite a lot of money. So the thing is, there are certain novices in the industry also. There are certain reckless people in the industry also, as every other industry. And the third thing is, though it has been there for 17 years, maybe that person has not worked in your particular industry, right? Maybe I would say, your industry, they have not worked. So there are something called as pilot tests always performed. I always say, so why don't you spare 2,500 rupees and let's do a small experiment. We used to do experiment in school and colleges, right? I think a lot of businesses can spare 2,500 rupees. Let's do an experiment. Let's do a trial run. And depending on the result of trial run, we are going to take further decisions, right? Because if, let's say, we do everything good, and if we find out, okay, I'm getting one customer for 500 rupees. Now it depends upon scaling. If I know that, okay, I'm doing everything right, I'm getting one customer for 500 rupees. I know that, fine, for 2,000 rupees, I'll get 4 customers. If I need 100 customers, I have to do 100x of that 500 rupees. Once that experiment has been conducted successfully, once we are confident with the result, and we should always do that. We should always do a pilot test. It builds confidence in the mind of customer also. It builds confidence in the mind of investor also, in the business as well. Don't be reckless, because it's very easy to lose money in this field as well, because a lot of big players are there. For example, if you look for, I'll give you a common example, workspaces, co-working space like WeWork. A lot of working spaces are very, very popular in India, right? Every click on the ad in this day and age costs 250 rupees to 500 rupees, depending on the time of the day. So let's say if 10 people click on that ad, you have already blown up 5,000 rupees, that is per day. So it's easy to blow up money in a lot of scenarios. So that's why I always do a test and go by the result and then try to scale it up. That, okay, I'm going to multiply the effort and the objective of the test. But yes, frankly, I'm telling you from my own example that I've been here for almost 13, 14 years. In 2021, for me, definitely it's not a challenge to convince that, okay, should I or should I not go the paid ad route? For me, it's not a challenge, because if one customer or one business is not there, believe me, 50 other businesses willing to go to that route. They say me, fine, I will spend money as much as you want, show me results, right? If you show results to any business, nobody is going to say no, right? And obviously results will be similar to the industry they are in. It cannot be something what you profess or what you say. It cannot be a wishful result, as I say. That, okay, if everybody else in the industry is getting a number, you're also going to get a similar number. It is going to be an industry-wide result. So that's why even before a business starts, actually, these days, I recommend this thing. Find out how much will it cost for you to advertise for that business. Find out whether you have that much profit margin or not. Find out whether you account for that advertising cost. Only then step into that. A few of my friends, they say, hey, I want to sell mobile phone cases, mobile phone covers, laptop stickers online. That thing itself is for about how much? 250, 300, 400, 500, something like that. If it is going to cost me anything like 200 or 250 rupees to get that customer to buy the product, where is my profit margin left? Right. So it's always a good idea today in this day and age. Find out, okay, you have tools within Google itself. You'll find out how much it's going to cost me to get a customer. Now decide for yourself whether I can take that cost or not. If you cannot take that cost, do not get into that business. Fair enough?
Yep. Thank you very much, Sidharth, for this wonderful insights. And thank you, everybody who was watching us on YouTube. It was an amazing, amazing discussion with Sidharth here. We have shared a lot of insightful thing, and pretty much what we saw on the Google trends and the cost of acquiring the customer was one of the takeaways for me in this session. But before we go, we want to present you, Sidharth, with a certificate of appreciation from Brainciti. And you are able to see the screen for giving us this wonderful talk. I'll be sharing the PDF with you, but for coming on Online Educators and Experts Summit and your talk on adapting business to the post-COVID online scenario. Now, for all those who are watching us on YouTube, we will be coming live tomorrow at the same time. And tomorrow we'll be speaking about happiness with Neha